Welcome back for episode 2 of HG Living Lifestyles of the Locally Rich and Famous. I'm your host, Lyndsay Maynard, and here with your co-hosts, Natalie O'Donnell and Mason Goddard. Today, we are going to talk about entrepreneurship and starting small. So let's do a little deep dive into Natalie's history and how she got into real estate and the business world.
Yay.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want to know first?
So what led you into real estate? You know, what even made you think about real estate?
I always knew I was going to do real estate. It started, my parents, when gas and oil was really, really big here. I don't know how many years ago that was. I was probably in 4th, 5th, 6th grade when it all started. They started into rental properties. Well, my grandpa, he was always in rentals, and then he gifted my dad a rental property, and that kind of started the family line of being in the rental business, the real estate business. And then from there, my dad didn't really do much with it until
Oil and gas came in.
Yeah. Until the oil and gas came
boom
in.
Across the Ohio Valley.
And then he started doing that. And as a kid, like my stepmom, I'd go with her everywhere. We'd go to the showings of the rental houses and
the screw up managing properties.
Yeah, the property
real estate
management
kid
side. I always got to see that side of the rental management and, you know, just see all the things that came with that. I lived it, and I really knew I didn't really have anything I wanted to go to college for. Like, even as a kid, I mean, I tossed around some ideas, and, you know, when you're a kid, you say, I want to do this, or this, but I never really wanted to do any of those things. So my dad was like, you should be a realtor. Well, HGTV was always
yes.
Literally always. And I'm like, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to do
that's
that.
Like a must for future realtors. Like, you have to watch HGTV through your teens.
I can attest to that. I used to throw on Property Brothers and House Hunters all the time.
It's a must.
What is it? Sell it or list it?
Yeah. Love it or list it.
Love it or list it.
Yes. Yes.
That was a good one.
All the HGTVs.
Yeah. So, anywho, from there, then whenever I got into high school, I always said I was going to be a realtor. Basically, always.
You just knew.
I just knew. And then I got more into the property management side of everything. So, and I had more responsibilities with that. And then as soon as I graduated, my parents lived in Florida, and they still had some rental properties here. They sold some to move there and kind of take off some of the load of all the rentals. And then it was my turn to step up. Now I have to deal with all the craziness, but all of like the real estate of selling and buying with clients and working with clients and being part of a brokerage it all flows together of life, like with property management, managing clients all the time.
Yeah.
So
it's very much the same pace.
I thrive off of it.
Yeah. And being an investor and being a landlord helps to offset and balance your success in real estate too. You know, real estate ebbs and flows and can come and go in waves, and the market can kind of, you know, differ sometimes beyond your control. So having that monthly income from your rentals and a little bit more passive, I would not say it's passive at all. Anytime people are like, oh, I'm going to get into investment properties and I'm going to be a landlord for passive income, I'm like, think again. You're going to get a...
I know. Every time someone says that, I'm like, do you have time to sit down and talk to me? Do you have the time?
4 a.m. when that phone rings because there's a bat in somebody's house. Yeah. It's not very passive.
Or the big things you have to worry about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, everything.
Heat going out on a family that has children in the dead middle of winter and it's negative 20 outside. So it's definitely not passive.
The tenants the stories I could tell.
No, I know.
Are crazy.
Yes.
But no, it's all experiences, and it's led me here to Harvey Goodman, and I love this side of real estate, honestly, more. But my experiences growing up and then getting into the rental business and the property management has all, I would say, prepared me more to be better of like organization.
Oh, absolutely. And just work ethic. Seeing your parents grow up in that world teaches you such a work ethic. That's why I always like chuckle about real estate kids, because I feel like they're so versatile and flexible because their parents have to be, and they just grow up, you know, like our kids, they grumble sometimes now, but like they know that sometimes they just might have to go ride around in the car for 2 hours while we show houses, and they'll get a treat afterwards, you know. But you know, it's that lifestyle, and it brings your kids into it whether you want them to or not.
Last week, Lyndsay's son, I called Sean, her husband, and Colt was in the car, and he answered the phone because he knew it was me. And I was like, Colt, what are you doing, buddy? And he's like, we're at the flip house.
Yeah, he just knows, like, he's working, you know, he's on duty too, you know, like this is our life, this is his job. That was me. You know,
future realtors in the making and entrepreneurs. So
what has been one of your favorite things on the sales side of real estate now that you're a real estate agent here at the company? What is one of your favorite things of that workflow? And I love being busy. It's not the same thing every day. I love that if something goes wrong with the house, it's not my responsibility. As if it's my rental, it is. But as far as being a realtor, like I love first-time home buyers and seeing, like, I was telling you last week, I have these clients. They were just so appreciative. We hunted for months and months and months, and then I see her Facebook post, and it's like, we finally have a home, and my little boy, he gets to play on the trampoline. Like, I've waited for this forever, and it just like made everything feel complete. Yes. Yeah, like, got goosebumps, all warm and fuzzies.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah.
First time home buyers are very special.
It can be so frustrating too, but once the process is over with and you're closed, oh my gosh.
It's such a win.
Yes, it is. It's so rewarding. Yeah. Especially because you work so hard. A lot of people don't realize actually how much goes into the process of everything.
Yeah.
So
there's so much behind the scenes, and I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, I had a smooth I had a great transaction. It was so easy. Like, I could do that again. And I'm like, you had a great real estate agent. Because they made you feel like it was easy because they were hustling behind the scenes and making sure everything was to a T. And you had a good team behind you to give you that experience.
There's so many things that go into it.
Yes. So what have been some of the most useful things or the biggest support systems that you've found here at Harvey Goodman for you?
I love Harvey Goodman, and I'm not just saying that because they're sitting in front of me. Genuinely, I love it here. The family, the atmosphere, like, I love coming into the office and working.
Yes.
Or I will go into Mary's office 5 times a day. I'm like, Mary, I'm stumped. Can you help me with this? Or, you know, it's like a family and encouragement. And then when you're sitting in the office, you get to hear like so many other things you get to learn. It's just really nice that's how it is here. I really do love it.
You hear it so many times, like the support is top tier, but it's not just like something we say, it's actually real.
It's just totally unmatched. Our leadership team, Mary Gowdy, our director of operations, I mean, she's gold. She's priceless to all of us. She's such a resource for all of us agents.
She is HG Living.
She is. Mary is HG Living. She is. She's so dedicated to our company. They just don't make them like her. And so we are all so blessed to have her. Scott, our director of training, he's so knowledgeable. He has so much experience in real estate, negotiating, handling objectives to making sure your client gets what they want out of it, making sure that deal is a yes for everybody, or, you know, finding a way to win that. And then even our broker, John Sambuco, his experience in the business and handling objectives again and contracts, and then just the availability for everybody. You know, people joke all the time, they feel bad calling me on Saturday mornings, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here drinking coffee waiting for somebody. Like, this is what I do, you know? Yeah.
John's like a contract wizard. He's like an encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to that stuff.
Yes. And our contracts are so good. They're so good.
it really shows the hard work of everyone. It's like, it's really a team, like an operation of, okay, this is how it works here at Harvey Goodman. This person does this. They can do their job amazing. This person does this. This is how it all works, and it really goes together well. So, and you're a big part of that too.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I love to be here with the agents. I really, some days it's just like a party, you know. I have open door policy, so my door's always open for questions or just chatting. Sometimes it's just chatting about, you know, what your favorite coffee is, what you get to drink this morning. And then also just a lot of business, how to get business started, picking people up when they're feeling down and making sure everybody's still just always inspired, motivated, and having the support they need. So
the best part about it is you get to hear everyone's point of view of like, okay, if you're stuck on something or if you need some encouragement, everybody is always there for you. Or you get to hear different things that they're doing. You get so inspired.
Yeah.
Because it's just a great environment. Honestly.
Like,
top producers are here.
I was just about to mention our top producers are like, you would maybe expect them to be kind of, you know, maybe selfish in a way with their business, but they're not at all. They're always an open book and willing to help everybody, like every single one of them.
Yeah, there's enough business to go around, and all of our agents want to see everybody else win. So it's good. It's really good atmosphere.
Because it's a team. So, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that's one of the things that you've loved the most, because I've worked hard to make that happen and to create that culture of, you know, because we are all independent contractors. And so it can kind of be every man for themselves. And that was one of the things as I started to come up into the business, watching some of those national brokerages come out and how do we compete with them when we have more overhead and have these things. But that team atmosphere is something that they just cannot replicate. You know, having those top producers available to you as a young agent to talk about, you know, to talk things through when they've been through that and had that experience. You know, you just can't get that type of experience anywhere else with, you know, and you just, all you have to do is come sit in the office and you can hear.
Yeah, you hear so many different things. And then my brains, I'm like, okay, I've never thought about it that way. So let me ask these questions to go off that. Or if something happens, like, I want to be prepared for that. And they know. So I'm like, just asking questions and constantly learning so much. Which is great.
What are some practical skills that you could share with some of our viewers about how you've scaled? You started small, so you just have, how many rental properties do you have now?
I have one.
You have one.
Yeah, my parents
and
have
then
a few,
and then you manage some for your parents.
Yeah. So, so when I originally started working, I had my rental property and I was working at the South End and Carp's Carryout and Shady Side, going through real estate school, kind of just learning like workflow. You know what I mean? Like how to manage all of this, manage money.
Yeah.
Even though I had some experience doing that and seeing my parents do it and my grandparents, other people. And so then I started managing their rental properties, which was another task. Okay, now I have this thing. And then when I got my real estate license, it all started adding up and adding up and adding up. And at some points I can feel overwhelmed, but I think I just like thrive in the
journey and the chase.
I do. I love it. Like if I'm not busy, then I'll get like, you know, like down. I almost like, whenever I'm busier is when I'm thriving. Whenever I'm like, oh, I have a day off, I feel like I should
what do I do with myself?
What am I doing with myself?
We've discussed that a lot, like not being able to turn off, and it's just like you feel like somebody might be outworking you or out competing you, so it's like it's tough to really turn that off.
That guilt, you know, giving yourself the grace to take time off and to, I mean, work hard, play hard. You know, we're working to live, not living to work. And so keeping that in mind is always definitely something that's at the forefront. But then also it can just be like you talked about, your systems and processes at each level. You kind of have to go back and reevaluate.
Yes.
You know, you can take Saturday off, but you have to change your system because what the path that got you there is not going to be the path that takes you further, you know?
Yeah. At one
so you
point
have to reevaluate.
okay, let's see. Carry out South End. I cleaned a family's house once a week. So that was another job. And then I had my rental property, managed my parents within real estate, and what else did I do? Oh, I cleaned the bar for only a couple weeks. So I was like, this is enough. This is enough.
Too much.
But yeah, managing all of that and still like finding time for myself or other things was hard. But now I feel like I'm in a place where
It's fine.
okay,
You're in a
I'm in a
place
place where I just love work, so it just doesn't even feel like work. I mean, some days it's like a deal's not working properly, or it's not going through, or I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't want to deal with all this today, but 99.9% of the time, I just love working.
You're living the life that you wanted and dreamt of, you know, and you created it for yourself. So that's how I feel. You just said the other day, you were like, you never stop working. And I'm like, I know, but I just love it. Like I've built my Saturday mornings to be available to just sip coffee and answer calls from agents. And if they don't call, great. Maybe I'll go out and do some gardening or play with the kids. But if so, I'm available. And even like coming into the office, some days I go home and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get anything done because it was just a party all day. I'm like, I had so much fun. It was such a fun day.
Kicked me out. She's kicked me out of her office before. Like Natalie, we have to work at some point.
Yeah, but it is just so much fun. And I've worked so hard to get here. As you know, you work so hard and you go through the rough times, and it makes up for it on the flip side. Yeah. And just having that work ethic to keep going, that focus and dedication is really consistency. Consistency is key.
Totally free.
And if you're feeling so frazzled, then you have to look at your systems and processes. And Mason and I were just talking about this the other day. Like when you're hitting that max and it's time to scale, like what do you like to do the least? Like start there. See if you can.
Yeah, I've had trouble with that, and that's why we were discussing that the other day. It's like I'm naturally a people pleaser, so I don't like to tell people no. But at some point, you can only dip your toes in so many things, so you got to pick and choose what's going to have the best return on your time,
And stay focused on your own goals and dreams and the path you're on, because so you don't get distracted by other people's tasks that you might be able to help them with and succeed. But having that focus and keeping that priority first.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably the hardest thing for like the leadership at Harvey Goodman, is because they have their own jobs. Like you guys have your own things you need to do, and then
the focus is always supporting the agents.
Like, hey, asking questions. Everybody's asking questions. So but
it's working though. It works for us. Yeah, sometimes there's things to pick up after hours or on a weekend, but for the most part it flows really nice. And we have on the leadership team, everybody is still kind of delegated their own responsibilities. So that was a topic of conversation though, as Mason came onto the leadership team with us about guiding the agents to who to ask the right questions to, guiding them to that expert. Because if you have a contract question, like John or Scott is your guy, rather than calling Mary, or if you have business building, like you might want to talk to me, or marketing, Mason and I can both help. If it's just strictly media, then Mason's your so just delegating those questions so that one person wasn't overwhelmed, because Mary's gold and everybody wants to call Mary, So
going back to when you were saying like you have to figure out when your workload is getting too big, you have to figure out what at that time is the most important to you. So that was a huge thing for me, was figuring out like, okay, what is the most important thing in my life right now? So
what's going to take you to the next level?
Into my real estate business a lot, and trying to just work hard at that. So
well, this has been a great episode, guys. Lots of good information here for business building, entrepreneurship. You guys know it best, starting so young, and your work ethic is crazy. I can't wait to see the success that the two of you have. I know that you guys are going to just thrive and have the most successful lives, and I'm so excited that I get to have a front row seat to watch to watch your success and to watch you guys thrive. I'm so happy to have you on the team. So until next time, do a deeper dive into maybe the history of Mason and some branding and marketing. So thanks for tuning in to the second episode of HG Living, Lifestyles of the Locally Rich and Famous. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you'd like to see us again on episode 3. We'll see you next time.